Hello students, welcome in today's class. I hope every one of you are good and well. Okay, so let's continue today's class. In this very first cartoon or picture, you can see that there is a person, okay, who is standing with the victory. Okay, the victory is of Vivigiri, who is standing in between. Okay, now the person who is there on which the name Congress is written is the member of the Congress party, or you can say the syndicate. The person who is looking after him is Nijalingampa, who was the party president of the Congress at that time, and the lady who is standing, okay, she is Indira Gandhi. Now this particular cartoon is referring to the presidential election which has been conducted in the year 1969. As you all must be remembering that in our last video, all the procedures that has been conducted during the presidential election of 1969 has been given to you all in detail. So basically, why I'm starting with this particular cartoon of today's class is to recap what we have done in our previous class. In our previous class, we have discussed that in this particular presidential election which has been conducted, you can say the open rivalry between the syndicate and the Indira Gandhi has been came in the year 1969, and because of the President Zakir Hussein's death, the post of the President of India was vacant. So for that position, there were two persons who were fighting against each other. Okay, that was your N. Sanjeeva Reddy, who was the official Congress candidate, and VV Giri, who was an independent candidate. And there were many different steps that has been taken from both the sides. Like Indira Gandhi has you can say announced that there will be several big and popular policies like the privy purse or the abolition of the privy purse. Okay, so likewise there were many measures that has been taken from both the sides, but at the last we have seen that the result was in the victory or in the favor of VV Giri, who was the independent candidate and has defeated the Sanjeeva Reddy, who was the official candidate of the Congress party. So this particular defeat of the official Congress candidate formalized the split in the party, and then the Congress got you can divided into two groups. First was your Congress O, that is Congress organization, the Congress group which was led by the syndicate, and your Congress New, okay, which was led by under Indira Gandhi. Okay, so this was the basically scene or the scenario that has taken place during the presidential election of 1969. So let's see next that what has happened in 1971 election. In 1971 election, we have seen that the split in the Congress, which has been done because of the 1969 presidential election, the split in the Congress had reduced the Indira Gandhi's government to a minority. Yet, though you can say the government continued in the office with the issue-based support of the few parties, including the Communist Party of India and the DMK. DMK is the Dravidra Munitra Kazakam. Okay, it is one of a regional political party. So it has been seen that during this particular period, the government made the conscious attempts to project its socialist credentials. Okay, this was also a phase when the land reform laws and undertook further land ceiling legislations too. So, in order to end her dependence on the other political parties, strengthen her party's position in the parliament, and seek a popular mandate for her program, that is basically for the 1971 election. But before that, Indira Gandhi's government recommended the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, okay, which was going to be conducted in 1970. And after this, there was another surprising step that has been taken was the fifth general election to Lok Sabha, which was held in February 1971. Okay, So let's see that what were the basic contest, or you can say context, in the 1971 election. Now, when the electoral contest has appeared to be loaded against the Congress R, we are talking about here Congress R, that is Congress recessionist. That means the Congress which was there under Indira Gandhi government. After all, you all can say that the new Congress was just one faction of an already weak party. Congress R was already a weak party as compared to Congress O. So everyone believed that the real organizational strength of the Congress party was under the command of Congress O, because the existence of Congress O was already there in the nation or on the nation as compared to Congress R, that is Congress recessionist, which was newly been introduced by Indira Gandhi. So, to make the matters more worse, especially for Indira Gandhi, what did the other communist or the opposition parties did? The Congress opposition parties formed an electoral alliance that was known as the Grand Alliance. Okay, there were many Congress opposition parties like the Bharatiya Jan Sangh. Okay, that is, you can refer the current Bharatiya Janata Party that we have is the has been succeeded from Bharatiya Jan Sangh. So Bharatiya Jan Sangh is basically the parent, you can say, of Bharatiya Janata Party, which is there in today's existence. Okay, there was, you can say, like Swatantrata Party, Bharatiya Kranti Dal. Okay, so they all came together under this particular umbrella of Grand Alliance. So the ruling party had an alliance with the CPI already. Yet the new Congress had something, though the steps, these kind of steps has already been taken by Congress O, but there was something that was there in the hands of the new Congress, and that was an agenda and a positive slogan. What the new Congress members were saying, that the Congress O wanted, or the opposition alliance had only one common program, and that is Indira Hatao, that is remove India. Whereas, in contrast to this, she put forward, that is Indira Gandhi put forward a positive program captured in the famous slogan, and the slogan was Garibi Hatao, that is remove poverty. So when an individual get an opportunity to classify or to differentiate between these two slogans, or you can say these two phrases which has been provided, the common people is going to vote for the slogan that has been provided by Indira Gandhi, that is Garibi Hatao, because that is the current agenda that every individual would like to have and wanted the government to come up with certain kind of solutions. Okay, whereas in compared to Indra Hatao, Indra Hatao is something that the that has became a common program for the opposition alliance. But what the common people wanted, common people or the deprived sections of the society or the disadvantaged sections of the society, or the you can say group of people which are there under the poverty line, they want such kind of a work like Garibi Hatao, and which has been provided by Indira Gandhi. So she has basically focused on the growth of the public sector, right? And urban property, such like removal of disparities in income and opportunity, and the abolition of the princely privileges, as we have seen in the previous video that they were talking about, or Indira Gandhi was particularly talking about the abolition of the privy purse that was there during the presidential election of 1969. So through Garibi Hatao, Indira Gandhi tried to generate a support base among the disadvantaged. Okay, you can say especially it comes to the landless laborers, the Dalits, Adivasis, the minorities, women, and the unemployed youth. So the slogan of Garibi Hatao and the problem that followed it were the part of the Indira Gandhi's political strategy for building an independent nationwide political support base. Okay, so this was the basic contest, or you can say the composition that was there during the 1971 election. So now let's see what was the outcome of the 1971 election. Now, the result of the Lok Sabha election of 1971 was a dramatic one. Okay, as the decision was to hold these elections. So the Congress R that was there, okay, alliance has won more seats, you can say. The alliance is referring to the CPI. So the Congress R that was under Indira Gandhi along with the CPI has formed an alliance and has won more seats and votes than that of the Congress had ever won in the first four general elections. That means in the previous first four general elections, the vote which has been secured by the Congress party in this particular 1971 election, the Congress has won more than what it has gained in the first four general elections. That is, in combined, it has won 375 seats in Lok Sabha and in total secured 48.4% votes. Okay, so Indira Gandhi's Congress, that was Congress R, that is the Congress recessionist, okay, has won 352 seats with about 44% of the popular votes on its own. So in contrast to this, the performance of the Congress O, that is the party which was there under the rule of the syndicate, they have not been even able to get, or they have get less than 1/4 of the seats that has been secured by the Indira Gandhi's party, that is approximately or merely 16%. So with this, the Congress party led by Indira Gandhi has established its claim to being the real Congress. But here the question arises, though the Indira Gandhi was able to restore the dominant position that was there of the Congress in the Indian politics, okay, and has proved that the opposition or the Grand Alliance was had to face a failure. So why? Because their combined total which was there was only 40, or they have won only 16 seats, right? So basically you can say the outcome was very much in favor of the Congress, but the Congress that has been established under the Indira Gandhi's rule. Are you getting? So by this, a question or a common question arises in the mind of a person is that though it led to the restoration of the Congress in many states, yet Congress lost its previous character. What previous character? Because when the first three general elections has been conducted, we have seen that there was only one Congress main party. But in this election, that is till 1971, we have seen that now the Congress party has been split up into two, that is Congress O under syndicate and Congress R, that is Congress recessionist under Indira Gandhi's rule. So can we refer such kind of you can say result as a restoration of the Congress, or it was the recreation of the Congress? Okay, so in our next class we are going to discuss that whether this result of 1971 election was the restoration or it was a recreation. Okay students, so this much for today regarding the 1971 election. Tomorrow we are going to continue with our discussion regarding that whether we can refer it as a restoration or we will be referring it as a recreation. Thank you students.